Alright, this is part 4 of my N64 collection, and we left off with Pokemon Stadium 2 at the end of part 3, so we're going to start part 4 with Force Gemini. This game, of course, made by Rareware. Same people that make Donkey Kong Country, that made Donkey Kong Country. And this is a pretty good game. It's a pretty good shooter. I have played this, but I never beat it, but I'm not really too concerned about beating games anyway. I just like playing them for the sake of playing them. But this is a pretty good game. And then we've got Rampage 2, Universal Tour. The sequel to the first N64 Rampage game. And I have not played Rampage 2 yet, but I kind of want to. I don't know if it'll be for YouTube or not. I'll say probably not. I have played the first Rampage game on N64, though, and it just so happens that I beat that one. Yep. I have not played the NES version of Rampage, though. But, it's basically like, pretty much like the first one, where you go around destroying buildings and whatnot. And then, the next one up is Pilot Wings 64. Now, this game was, one of the launch titles for the N64. And I actually did try playing this, but obviously I didn't, but I kind of sucked at it, if you want to put it like that. But it is still a pretty good game. It's a continuation of another series that started on the Super Nintendo, that of course being the original Pilot Wings. But this is a pretty cool game. Then we've got WWF Attitude, a wrestling game. And if you like wrestling, then I would highly recommend, then you can definitely get this game. And notice here below, Attitude says, "Get it." Well, that's definitely what you're going to want to do regarding this game if you are a wrestling fan. Now, am I a big wrestling fan, you ask? Not really. Next, we've got Hydro Thunder, another racing game that takes place on the water. And this one's a dark blue cartridge. They also have this game on PlayStation 1. And this game is pretty good. Yeah, if you like these kind of racing games, then by all means go ahead and pick it up. And then next we've got Mickey's Speedway USA, another racing game, and it's made by Disney Interactive. And I know I'm not, and N-Man 64 loves them Disney characters. Yeah, you've got, you can race as several different Disney characters in this one. Mickey himself. There's also Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Pete, and of course, Donald's nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And I think there's also 2 more characters in this game as well, but I'm not sure. But this is still pretty fun. Alright, next up we have Jeopardy, based off the popular game show hosted by Alex Trebek. Now, this version of Jeopardy is hard. It's one of the harder harder Jeopardy games out there. Like, even when you pick easy questions, they still give you hard ones for some reason. I have no idea why. But this was the last Jeopardy game that GameTech did before they went bankrupt. And after that, of course, we have Wheel of Fortune. And this is the last Wheel of Fortune game that GameTap made before they went bankrupt. Which, of course, is based off the popular game show, hosted by Pat Sajak and Vanna White. Now, when this game came out, the show was in its 14th season. They are now in their 33rd season. So yeah, that is a long time. And although the show itself is older than me, because the syndicated edition of Wheel came out in 1983. I wasn't born until 4 years after that. But the show as a whole actually originated in 1975 as a daytime program on NBC. So, yeah. And those were the only 2 game show titles to be released for N64, by the way. Next up, we have Mario Tennis! Woohoo! This is definitely a fun fun game on N64. And you've got the regular courts, and you've also got special courts that have the different character logos on them. Like, there's a Birdo court, a Mario Brothers court. I think there's also a Bowser court in this. There's also a court where you can get items, just like in Mario Kart. And we've got Beetle Adventure Racing, a racing game where you just have Volkswagen Beetles. And it's an alright racing game. Not an all-time great racing game, but it is fairly decent. So, if you like Volkswagen Beetles, then yeah, I guess you can get this game. I'm not going to stop you. We've got another hockey one here, which is NHL Breakaway 99. And we've got Steve Yzerman on the label for this. He was a pretty good player. And Yzerman, right now, is the general manager for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So, yeah, Yzerman was a pretty good player. And since I like hockey, it's obviously a no-brainer that I have this game. And if you like hockey, then I would definitely recommend that you check that out. And then up next we got Mario Golf. Or Wario Golf, as Wario likes to put it. But anyway, this is a fun golf game. In Mario Golf, you've got you can do various tournaments, as well as do free play, and I think even there's even a round where you mode in this where you try to complete the course in as fast as you can. Yeah, but this is definitely a fun game. I have played this on my channel a few times before, and it's pretty good. It's awesome, actually. Then we've got Pokemon Stadium, the first one. All the Gen 1 Pokemon are in this one, including including Charizard. Ooh. Out of all the Gen 1 Pokemon in this one, Charizard is definitely one of the strongest ones. So, if you have a Charizard on your team, then that is good for you. Now, a really neat feature about this game, which is that you can, is that if you have an N64 Rumble Pack or Transfer Pack, I think it is, then you can play the original Red, Blue, and Yellow Game Boy Pokemon games on your N64. I believe you can also do that with Gold and Silver and Crystal on Pokemon Stadium 2. But yeah, this is a really awesome game. One that I definitely remember owning when I was smaller. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Alright, next up we have Banjo Kazooie. And it's a pretty good game, but I have tried playing this, but I don't really have any idea what you're supposed to do. But there is a witch in this game, I think named Gilda, who kidnaps Banjo's sister, and he has to save her. It's a pretty good game. It's a good game. And you can also, I think you can also get this game on Rare Replay on the Xbox One. Then we've got the new Tetris. Now, this one, of course, has your standard Tetris gameplay. But in this one, you can actually make different structures, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Great Wall of China, etc. But it all depends on how the Tetris blocks fall, and how you're able to clear the lines. And then we've got Mario Kart 64! Oh, this is my all-time favorite version of Mario Kart. And in fact, this was the version I played a lot when I was a kid. I definitely owned this game. I know I remember owning this game. And this is definitely one of my favorite. This is definitely one of my favorite games on the N64. I love playing this a lot. And would I advise you to get this game for your N64? Absolutely. Then we've got Rampage World Tour. And as I mentioned before, I have beaten this game. And I think I got over 3 million points for my score when I beat it. So that was pretty cool. And this one you go around and destroy buildings. There's also... and if you manage to get a World Tour symbol in this, you can destroy buildings in European cities. That's pretty neat. Then we got another wrestling game here, WWF Warzone. And it's a pretty cool wrestling game. I believe Hulk Hogan is in this game. So, yeah. Again, I'm not really a big wrestling fan, but that's just my opinion. Alright, and then we've got probably the best N64 game ever created. This is an absolute masterpiece of a game. Super Mario 64. Now, unlike all the other Super Mario games, this one takes place in just one specific setting. And that setting being none other than Princess Peach's castle. The whole game takes place there, and you get to go to all different worlds and collect stars. There are 120 stars to collect on this game. On the DS version, it's 150. And this is definitely one of the best N64 game ever made. I would definitely recommend this game. And as it happens, Edman64 actually just finished doing a Let's Play of this particular game, but he did not do a full 120 star run. He only got 90. But and again, everyone plays their own way. Then we've got Lego Racers, and this is another racing game. You've got Lego characters on this, and this is a really fun game. I have played this, haven't really finished the whole game, but it's still pretty fun. And then we've got FZero X, which is the N64 version of F-Zero. And F-Zero is another one of those games that got its start on the Super Nintendo. But I do not have the Super NES version of F-Zero as of yet. But I have played this game, and it's a lot of fun. Nothing really much else to say about that. And then the next one up is Cruisin USA. This is the first of the Cruisin games. And this game's pretty difficult. By that, I mean, in order to beat a level and move on to the next one, you have to finish first on the track, on a particular racetrack. If you finish lower than first, then you have to do the track again. But at least on this game, you can keep doing it. You can keep doing the, they let you try it again an unlimited number of times. Unlike Cruisin Exotica. The way they did it on Exotica was evil. Okay, and now the last one, which is actually in my machine right now, is the original Mario Party. And this was the first game of the Mario Party franchise, of course. But this was also the game that was known for those for causing blisters, thanks to those ridiculous control stick spinning mini games like Pedal Power, Tug of War. If that yes, just a second. As I was saying, out of all the control stick spinning mini games on Mario Party 1, Pedal Power by far has got to be the worst ever. Because you have to spin that one like the control stick super fast in order to actually have a chance at that. Alright, so there you go. That's all of my N64 games for the 2016 edition of that collection. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.